Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Tech Tip Tuesday. Here we go. September 20th. Man, the month is rolling right by. Missed you guys last week. Sorry about that. I was traveling a bit, so a little hard to get on some of these times, but I'm glad to be here tonight. So thanks for joining in. Looks like we have a small group tonight, but that's okay. We got Jake Barron here from corporate. Hi, Jake. How you doing?
Good, Ken. Hey, everyone.
Hello, hello. And in the background from our tech support crew, we've got Taylor tonight. Is that right?
That's right.
Yay. Hi, Taylor. Thanks for being here. We so much appreciate your help in the background there. So let me tell you a little bit for you guys that are new about Tech Tip Tuesday. What this is a chat-based forum in which we bring challenges, questions, and issues, all things Healy, to the table, and we sort them out. What we typically talk about is tech things, app things, application things. We get a little bit into philosophy sometimes, a little bit into science sometimes, which it's a lot of fun. But what we can't do, those are the things we can do. What we can't do is we can't really treat, diagnose, prevent, or give any advice around what programs are assigned or can do things for what conditions. So we won't be able to address any of those kind of things. But I'm excited for what we can address, and especially since we've got some new products out there. The MagHealy's online. We have a new app out that operates those things, which I think that's super cool. By the way, updated my picture. You see that, Jake? Look at there. We got.
Oh yeah,
we got the new app in the background.
Nice.
Right there. Yep. So everybody can see what the new app looks like. We've got the old pink dot right there on this side of me, the blue dot right in the middle, and then the brand new Healy app, which we don't have a nickname for. We're just going to call it the new thing, right? I don't know. But that's a cool app because it's cool in the regards that it operates both the MagHealy and the Healy. So it's really neat how that new app can differentiate the two. So one app, two products. All right. Shall we get started?
Let's go.
Okay. Let's see. Well, there's Nancy's asking, how do I access Telegram? I got a link Wednesday, but it tells me it's a private group. Okay. This has been happening. And I'm not sure if it's some hackers. I'm not sure exactly what's happening to folks, especially the people who've already been in the Telegram group and then all of a sudden go try to access it and they can't get in. Something's happening where some people are getting kicked out. I don't know if it's a glitch within Telegram or if it's somebody, but I know it's not the admins. For the most part, the admins are not deleting some of these people, but if you are deleted from that group or popped off that group for some reason, number one, to be part of that group, you need to have your full name as part of your identifier, not like a handle or a number or letters or some nickname thing. So we need your name because we do get a lot of spammers, and we want to make sure that there's no spammers coming in there. We're trying to protect you is the whole goal. And so when we get spammers in there, they just start, wreaking havoc. And we identify them by, they just have some random name in there, right? It's not really usually them, some handle or something. So make sure, number one, that your identifier for your Telegram is your name. Okay. You don't have to, within Telegram, you can hide your phone number or you can have yourself kind of anonymous in terms of that, but the name needs to be you. And if that's the case and you still aren't able to get in or whatever happened, then maybe send me a private note here and let me see what I can do from there. Okay. We'll see what we can do. All right.
Okay. Question from Coil. Let's see if we can help her out here. It says, I am not able to use my Healy due to a Bluetooth issue. It does not come on when I turn on my Healy. If I go to settings and click on connect to Healy, it says not connected. If I click on that, it will connect. But Bluetooth will come on, but I'm still not able to do anything, and all of my data is gone. I've tried to add a new client, but it does not work. What should I do? So
Sounds like she's talking about the Blue Dot app.
Yeah, definitely the Analyse app.
Yeah.
So I guess we could walk through the whole standard troubleshooting process to kind of see what she's done and maybe what she hasn't tried. But Ken, first, what would you recommend she tries first with a Bluetooth issue?
Well, so, okay. When you go into the settings and you click on check for Healy's, check for your Healy, you can actually see that you're connected or not connected, right? So if you open up the Blue Dot app and you go over to, first of all, by the way, my suggestion is you make sure you open it from either your app store or making sure that your version is the 1.21.2. That's the newest version. That's really important. I'm hearing people having some troubles because they haven't gotten the new version, and then that's going to be, that's going to first of all be it's an incoherence with the program and your operating system. So the bottom right hand corner is the little gear, right, which is essentially our menu, right, our settings menu. If you click on that little gear, you can go down, and of course about the fourth one down says connect to Healy, right? And then that's where you're actually seeing either you are or are not seeing your Healy in that listing. So in other words, when you click on connect to Healy, what the app is doing is going out and looking for any Healys that are turned on, any Healys is turned on. And when it finds a Healy that's turned on, it should pull in the serial number associated with that Healy. All right. And so when you see the Healy serial number, then click on the little eye icon on the far right, and then it should attempt to connect to Healy, and you'll see this action going on. The little eye will spin around, that kind of thing, right? And you should look at your Healy and you'll see the blue light starting to flash, right? Okay. And so once that starts to happen, and it'll say connected. At the end of that whole process, it will say connected on your app, right? Once it says connected, now you can go back to the little house icon, the bottom right or left there, and should be able to add a client, do whatever function that the app will do. Okay. So if it's not doing that, then you're going to need to log out of your Blue Dot app. And that's again done in the little gear where it says cloud settings. Click on cloud settings. At the very top, it says log out. Okay, at the very top, it'll say log out. And then let's see. Okay, it'll say log out. And once you've logged out, my suggestion is to try in demo mode just to make sure that there's something not going on. And you'll see when you go to log back in, actually it'll say at the window down there, it'll say demo mode, or what's it say down there? It says demo mode, or I have a Healy. It says I have a Healy, and then demo mode, and so on, so on. So go into demo mode, start demo mode, and then it will automatically sync with a arbitrary account. Okay. So in other words, click on start demo, and it's going to go through a synchronization process, which is going to download all of the databases to your app, right? Which is a kind of just an arbitrary account, just a no man's land, I guess you might say. Okay. Once it does that, then you can, again, click on the little house and try entering a client and see what happens from that point. Take a look at your Healy. You should see the Bluetooth light on. Should still be connected to your Healy, and give it a shot. Okay, so try that out and come back to us. Let me know. Okay.
Yeah. Let us know on this call, and then if not, we can go through the other standard. When's the last time you restarted your smart device? Turn on and off Bluetooth, and hard reset. All the standard things that you can try as well if that doesn't work for you. So
yeah. Let's see. So Peggy says, will you talk about the new app we are supposed to, are we supposed to use it instead of the pink dot app? Oh, so great question. So we were just talking about that, right? Brand new picture right here up on my shoulder.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a great app. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, we can talk about it a little bit tonight, but we on Healy for Beginners and Beyond this coming Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we're gonna take a deep dive into the new app, the MagHealy Healy app, whatever you want to call it, the new one that can run both the MagHealy and the Healy, and we're going to show you the key differences between how things appear in the current Pink Dot app and how they appear in the new app, and what kind of some of the things to look out for on that call as well. But as far as are you supposed to use it, you don't have to. It's the current Healy Pink Dot app works fine for many people, but for those of you that have maybe experienced that little like looping issue where it brings you back to the main menu, or if you're tired of not being able to scan your QR code if you have a newer iPhone, some of these things have been addressed in this newest app as well, and so it works really well. It's really simple to use. But yeah, go ahead if you want to use it and try it out. Sure, it's still technically not. I would say that the final version, this app was optimized for MagHealy first, and we're kind of still in sort of a, let's say a trial or a beta, but we'll be making some tweaks to it in the near future to optimize it now for the regular Healy device too. So. But it works great, and I know a lot of people I really love the new app. So feel free to try it out.
Yeah, the cool thing about this, the new Healy app, is that it is operating on a new software platform, a new platform, which is similar to the platform that the HealAdvisor app is on, right behind me here. So it's a new platform, meaning that its capabilities are more updated, and so this is again why we're able to. It's able to, if you had an iPhone 13, people who had that iPhone that couldn't scan the QR code because of some issues with the size of the QR code, this new Healy app now allows that. Glitch is gone, and as Jake said, some of the stalling issues is gone. It's just a higher processor capability with this app. It's great. Honestly, you're going to have a little bit of differences. So remember with the original Pink Dot app, when you look at your conductivity, when you're connecting with the microcurrent and you're seeing if you've got a white circle or a black circle, the new app simply has this, at this version anyway, just simply either has a waveform kind of going across, or if you have no conductivity, it's just like a gray bar, almost like a stall. Right.
So Ken, I'm going to give everyone on this call a sneak peek into some of the things that you're going to see on Thursday's call. So I'm going to just briefly share my screen here and show you exactly what we're talking about. So wait a minute. Okay, sorry. Can you see my screen, Ken?
Yep, I see it.
Okay. So, as Ken mentioned, we all have seen the black line, the black circle on the current Healy Pink Dot app, and as Ken mentioned, there's sort of in the new version, the equivalent is just this gray bar across the middle that you see here. It's kind of a fixed. It doesn't move. It's a static image across the middle there, and then as you adjust the intensity, the proper conductivity. So again, on the Healy Pink Dot app, that line switches from black to white. In the new one, that little frequency wave part takes the place of that fixed gray image, and it's a flowing sort of frequency animated process there. So that's how it looks in the new app, and that's how you know whether or not you've got the proper conductivity there or not. So. And that's, again, one of the things that we're going to go over in a little bit more detail on the call on Thursday too, along with some of the other key differences as well.
Yeah, and so tune in Thursday, and it'll be posted on the Telegram group, and that should show up also. That'll show up in the in your shop page under the events. Isn't it in there too? Under
Yeah,
events?
yeah. Let me, for anyone that, we, in the past, we all haven't done the greatest job keeping that part updated. But let me just, for anyone that hasn't ever been to that events area, let me show that as well. So let me go back here. Okay. Okay. So as Ken was talking about, if you go to the main shop page, us.healy.shop, go to events and go to Healy World Online Events. And then you'll see here, you'll see that we have, I'll take a while to load, but we got What's Up MagHealy again. So tomorrow we don't have our normal What's Up Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, but we have What's Up MagHealy with Dr. Michael Chen at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So you see that information is on here. And then you'll see Healy for Beginners and Beyond for Thursday, September 22nd. And then I'll be on that call, and we're Doc Steve is supposed to be on that call as well, and Ken, hopefully you'll be able to make it as well. But we're gonna have a great call and cover a lot of key points on the new MagHealy Healy app, how to connect your regular Healy to that app, and then also we're gonna do an overview of the MagHealy device as well. I'll give you some information on overview tips, FAQs as well. Now that we have a lot more people using MagHealy these days. So you can always get to the meetings here, and the links stay the same from week to week, but you can click this link here to join that meeting, but you can also, I'll put the link into the chat. You can just go to experiencehealy.world. That will take you right to the meeting on Thursday as well. That starts at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see. Great stuff. So by the way, folks, if you're on your computer and you want to save this chat, so in the chat where you put your comment there, there's a little smiley face. Next to that, there's 3 dots down in the chat bar. If you click on those 3 dots, it'll give you the option to save chat. So in other words, all these links and all that kind of stuff will be saved to your computer. At the end of the call, you'll have an option to save that content and keep all those links. So either that, or you can copy and paste them right now as we're going through it, but just giving you a little heads up on how you can save all this stuff. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so Nancy's got a question about running Pink Dot app from new Healy app, but we just covered that. So there's not the white versus black. So we just covered that. All right. Let's see. Let's see.
We have a tip from Linda. So thank you for putting that tip on the watch data into the chat. Again, always helpful when we have people joining in on the call and sharing things that have worked for them. So certainly appreciate that.
We love those solutions. I mean, that's why we're here. Build some solutions. So thank you for contributing to that.
Yeah, and Linda, to answer that second question you had there, can we upgrade a free promo Healy to a higher edition? Sure. Any Healy that you earn for free, it's your Healy, it's on your account. Say you earned a free resonance, you're certainly welcome to upgrade that to any higher edition that you want. So.
Okay. So Dolly said that happy Tuesday. I have the professional Healy. Is the Wellbeing app, Body, Spirit, Mind, still available? It's missing from the Healy Pink. Yes, I have the latest version. Thanks. So yeah, it's available as a subscription, right? I haven't seen anything change there.
No, it's still available. It's actually, I think our least expensive subscription is like $9 a month, something like that. But that's one of the programs that towards the end of last year was given to everybody for free. It was supposed to be a 3-month trial, but it ended up being a lot longer for many people. So that did cause some confusion because people thought they had it permanently, but it was a trial for everybody. And then if you wanted to keep it permanently, you would just go ahead and subscribe to it via the shop.
Mm-hmm. And some of these permanent subscriptions, if you do get them, you can of course assign them to any Healy you own on your account. I've got several, and I've been trying to consolidate and get like everything on one. I got it's kind of fun to get them all in one place, because when you're doing a demo, it's nice to have everything. Let's see what else we got here.
Is the new Healy app available for the iPad? I have it on my phone. I believe it is. I looked earlier. It said it was available for the iPad. So
yeah,
I haven't tried it, but it should be. So.
And depending on, make sure your iPad is high enough version operating system. I think it's still 11 and above. But that's also when you go to your app store, you're able to see that, by the way. You go to your app store, you go to the particular app, and there's an information drop down arrow, and you can actually see the compatibility, like version of your software, or even hardware.
Yeah, I'm looking at just the app store, not on my phone, but via just Googling it, and the MagHealy comes up, says designed for iPad. So there looks like it does work just fine with the iPad.
Absolutely. Okay. So yeah, make sure you go in there, and you can take a look at the content. So you'll see, if you go to your app store, you scroll down, there's a little spot in there that says iPhone and iPad apps. And then you can click on that little arrow down there, and it gives you a little bit more information. But yeah, looks like it's compatible.
Yeah, and I see some comments in the chat about, if it's zoomed in, having trouble either seeing or adjusting the intensity on there. So again, this is, as I mentioned earlier, it's still sort of in the trial phase, and some of these things will be worked out here over the coming weeks as well. So
again, there's a lot of different smart devices out there, and this app is trying to make it compatible with all the different versions. Okay. So there's one comment here says HealAdvisor will not load, just keeps raining. You know what they're talking about. There's a little rain thing, like it's loading. Logged out of my account through the Blue Dot app, removed HealAdvisor, turned off Bluetooth. Sounds like you did a bunch of stuff and still won't load. Okay. So you have, let's see, looks like you have removed the HealAdvisor. So I'm wondering if, in other words, you deleted the app, reinstalled the app, still won't load. I have got a couple of very rare occasions where the smart device itself didn't have enough memory to hold the app. In other words, it won't actually load any content to it because there's not enough memory. I don't know if that's the case here, but I just want to make sure we eliminate that possibility, that your smart device has plenty of memory allowed, and you can go and look at the settings and see if you don't know how to go and check the memory storage, I should say storage availability on your smart device, there's a YouTube that'll tell you how to do that for whatever smart device you have. But that's one thing. So you also mentioned that you turned Bluetooth off. When you're going to want to turn that back on, so that it can connect to your Healy itself. That's it shouldn't be anything with the server, because again, it's going to download content from the server in real time as it's loading its content. It's assigning it. You've logged in, so it's already assigning all of your login credentials to the app, so that then the app can populate. That's kind of how it works. Okay.
Yeah, and Taylor put some of the steps. We have seen this issue before, and what Taylor put into the chat here, fixes it most of the time. It's to clear the memory or app cache for that as well. So, and there's different steps for Android versus iPhone. So that typically will fix that issue right away. So
yeah.
And make sure if you if you're deleting the app you're fully deleting it from your device and not just removing it from, say, like the home screen or something like that too, as part of the process.
So let's see, there's a comment here. Can I wear Healy with my coil on my waistband of your underpants? Sure.
Yeah.
So think about the coil. The coil is emitting a magnetic signal. Clothing has, unless it's made of lead, has really no effect on that magnetic signal emanating outward or inward. So it doesn't have any effect, but so you can wear it as close to your skin as you would like, under your clothing. You can wear it anywhere you like, even on the outside. So if you don't want it to be seen, and I know, like, say maybe during a meditation, there's multiple people meditating, you've got a little Healy with blinky lights on it and it's dark, right? That can be distracting for people that are, trying to meditate, and maybe or you can actually see that blinky light in the darkness through your eyelids. You can see it, or you can perceive it anyway, I should say. And so wearing it underneath something so it's hidden is okay. No big deal. So absolutely. All right. Where are we here? As a general rule, is it okay if I run all MagHealy and Healy programs at 50%? Sure. I mean, when it comes to the Healy itself, and you're looking at microcurrent, and you're trying to assess whether you're getting conduction through the body, some of the lower frequencies, below 400 or 500, and the condition of your body may need higher amplitudes to get the line to go from black to white, if it's black, or the new Healy app for it to be a waveform instead of that gray bar like Jake showed earlier. But the key thing is just that to ensure that you've got conduction. Right now, the MagHealy, I don't know that there's
So again, I was going to talk about that, the MagHealy part, because if you go through the MagHealy guide, there's actually, so if you download the app manual, that's available in back office. It's also available directly in the MagHealy app if you're running the MagHealy, but you'll see next to each of the modules and each of the programs, there's a recommended intensity. So in 50% for most programs is kind of in that range, but you'll see some of these, they recommend 70 to 100%. So if you're running at 50, you're kind of below that recommended intensity. And then if you're at 50, for some of these, the recommended intensity is only 5 to 15%. So I would go ahead and follow what's in this guideline here, but always know that if, say, this intensity is recommended 70 to 100%, but you feel more comfortable with 50%, then go with what works, what feels right for you in that particular case. So the classic applications are the only ones that have this kind of big range as far as, or specific ranges as far as intensity goes. If you look at, say, water, the water one defaults to 100% no matter what you're doing. It starts immediately at 100% because you're just informing the water there. And then you'll see for some of the other ones, there's a fairly large range for all the atmosphere programs, anywhere between 30 to 100%. And then for McMakin, you'll see there's anywhere between 20 and 100%. So that's saying there's a big range, and kind of to go with what feels more comfortable and best for your particular case. So,
right. Okay, so there's a follow-up here. Where'd it go? So Carla added a new client. Remember earlier we went to the demo mode. She added a new client, synchronized with the cloud, then tried to do a resonance by choosing a client, but the new client info is not there. Also, when closing the program, Bluetooth stays on. So my pink dot works just fine. Okay, so when you're closing, there's two ways of closing. If you're just swiping the program away, it's not actually closing. is still running. You have to actually hard close depending on what device you have. If you have an iPhone, there's a very specific way in which you hard close an app. If it's an Android, again, a different specific way in which you hard close an app, because even though you swipe it away and maybe you open your text app or your email app or whatever, the Healy app is still running in the background and still connected to your hardware, your Healy hardware. So in order for that to actually shut down, you have to hard close the app, and then the blue dot or the blue flashy light will go off on your Healy. Okay, so do you have an iPhone? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yes, you have an iPhone. Okay, so the way, and I saw that you have a home button on your iPhone. So you double click your home button, and that now shows you a list of all the apps you have open. So there'll be like almost a staircase bunch of apps, windows open, and you swipe them straight up, and that's how they go off. Now, there's a YouTube for how to do that. So if you've never hard closed an app in the background, if you've never done that, I guarantee you have dozens of apps open, meaning that your smart device, your iPhone, is being tasked heavily and maybe having a lot of struggle running either of the Healy apps. So go to YouTube, look at how to hard close an app on your iPhone 10 or whatever you've got. And there'll be a very specific protocol on how to do that. And then go back and close all those apps in the background. And this is what I suggest to everybody. We've talked about this many times on these calls, is that the Healy apps and the Healy in general are a very sophisticated process and require processing power or CPU power on your smart device. It needs the computer resources within your smart device. And when you have a lot of apps open in the background, those apps are constantly tasking the CPU or the processor in your smart device and reducing resources available for running Healy. So by hard closing all those in the background, you free up those resources and allow these programs to run more easily. So do that first, because that could be the solution to all the things that are going on right now for you. Okay. All right.
And if that doesn't work, then I suppose you could do the, turn off your Bluetooth, uninstall the app completely, shut off your phone, turn your phone back on, turn Bluetooth back on, download the app, and log in again, not in demo mode, into your regular account, and try that. And then if that still hasn't worked, then you could do the old hard reset on your Healy device itself too. So there's still other things to try if this one doesn't work for you.
Yeah, we're trying to, it's like a process of elimination, right? To figure out where's the breakdown happening. We need to kind of go through that process. All right. What else we got? Okay. Do we have something else there?
I don't see any questions that haven't been. There's a bunch of comments and things, but I think we're caught up here.
I like being caught up. Let's see here. Yeah, some of the principles, I like to talk about principles in terms of when it comes to utilizing your, any of your Healy stuff, is that the main principles are, like I was just speaking with Carla here about having those apps in the background shut down so you have maximum resources for the operations of the blue dot, pink dot, the HealAdvisor search app, any of that. Just think about what's happening, what Healy is actually doing with the Healy hardware and the interface with your smart device. There's a lot going on there. There really is a lot going on there, and especially with the blue dot, with the analysis system, that's a real-time interface with the Healy hardware and the quantum sensor within the Healy and the app itself. You can't actually go do anything else while you're interfacing with that advisor app, right? But you can't do anything else because the advisor Analyse app is it needs that direct connection via Bluetooth. So let's say that you have other apps running in the background that utilize the Bluetooth signal. Okay. Or I should say the Bluetooth chip, or the hardware inside your smart device is, again, a small IC or integrated chip. And it also has an app or a program that runs that Bluetooth. All right. That's in your smart device. And then when it interfaces with Healy, some of the resources for interfacing with the Healy and the Bluetooth within your smart device is consumed. So now let's say you've got 3 or 4 other devices that are using the same software in your smart device, the same hardware in your smart device that Healy is trying to consume. Guess what? Now we've got a lot going on for that particular hardware and software package in your smart device. Okay. And resources are low, functionality starts to decrease, problems start to arise. Make sense? This is why I'm always saying, close them down, close them down, close them down. So we have a proper way of interfacing with the Healy. Okay. It seems like I'm getting some private messages here, so I'm trying to read through those.
Let's see how we got here.
Let's see, what do we got?
I think we're on, can the wristbands be used in situations where the app suggests using adhesive pads? If so, should I try to apply the wristbands in the locations suggested for adhesive pads as shown in the app? So in most cases, yes, but there's certain places where you can't use the wristbands, like on your back, or, you know, certainly that wouldn't work too well. But yeah, like for on your wrist, maybe possibly on your ankles, that type of thing, as well. You could try that if you're having adhesive sensitivity on your skin. So
Yeah, if the new apps only show the little round circles, either wristband or locally somewhere on the body, it only shows the little round circles. So it would be logical that you think that would be the only way to connect, but it's not.
Yeah.
So where it does show those dots on the wrist, that is interchangeable with the bands. Where there are other places, yeah, as Jake said, not.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a wristband around your body, your torso.
Yeah.
Now you can use them on your ankles, by the way. I mean, some people have used them on their ankles. I don't recommend walking around with wires hanging from your legs.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Okay. Oh, who else do we got? Let's see. How do we send a private message to you, to me? Well, right there where it says to, in your chat dialogue area where you would be typing your message, there's a name there where it says everyone. You can actually click on that little down arrow and send me a private message. But if it's a question, let's put it out here for everybody to see so we can answer it that way. What I asked for in the background was somebody who's kicked off a Telegram, and I want them to give me their phone number. Is the only way that I can get them back in that group. So let's see.
Oh, we have a question. I don't think we covered this one yet. It says, is there any plan to change how you get to the programs when you drill down? So right now it says when you it takes you back to the client, and that's annoying. So I don't know of any upcoming changes specifically related to this topic, but, you know, we're always looking to improve the ease of use and functionality of the apps. And the Analyse app has certainly been updated quite frequently recently. You'll see there was just another one, 1.2, I believe, that came out. So, you know, all the apps are constantly being updated, and, you know, the feedback is always appreciated as well. So we want this to be as easy to use and what makes the most sense for everybody as far as how they're using the app. So don't have an answer as far as when or if, but certainly appreciate all feedback.
Yeah, it's good. And by the way, within the tickets reporting system, there is a suggestion category where you can actually put content in there that you like to get that into customer service and be analyzed. Okay, so here's a great question here about when scanning yourself or someone with the Resonance app, should the Healy be closer to the person being scanned? Does it read someone else if they are close to it while scanning? So I want you guys to take a look at this for a minute and let's consider, say, like a GPS system for a moment. When you put in an address in GPS, it goes out and it looks for everything. And then it starts to drill down components. So first of all, it's looking at, say, the country. So now it knows it's the United States. Then it looks at the state, and now it knows it's Florida. Then it looks at the next piece of content, which is the city. Let's say it's Miami. Then it looks at the street, and then it looks at the house number. So it starts to drill down the location that you've asked it to find. And it does it kind of systematically like that, from the globe all the way down to the house. All right. So when you're putting something in to the Blue Dot app or the Analysis app, you're putting a person in. You're putting their picture, you're putting their name, you're putting their date of birth, their place of birth, their gender. Now you're starting to go from the planet, all of humans, down to one human. Okay, those are the coordinates essentially for this particular person, this client you just put in. And then the last part is to scan their signal. Now, remember, this scanning process is asking you to place the Healy in the palm of the client's hand. All right. So it's in proximity of the client. Yes. And so then it's doing the scan. It's taking the quantum sensors, now looking at the entire electron field, the whole field, which is everything. But it's like a GPS signal, drilling it down from what planet to what country, to what state, to what city, all the way down to the person itself. All right. So the coordinates you've already put in are the mother lode of how it's finding this particular person. The last aspect of it is by putting the Healy in your hand. So if there are people in proximity sitting on the lap of the person with the device in the hand, yeah, it's going to see them from an electron field. It's going to see them. Let's say it's a person that's pregnant or has a pet on their lap, or surrounded by all the grandkids or all the family or whatever. Are they still going to be seen for their exclusivity? Yes. The Healy has still got all the other coordinates to use. It's just now trying to get a waveform pattern to assign. So great question though. Just think, this is an intelligence working on a field that we can hardly even fathom in terms of minute, in terms of how small on the atomic level it's looking. Not even on the atomic level, it's looking in levels of even light energy. So the quantum sensor is a very specific component that that literally is analyzing things at that atomic level. So I kind of shake my head. I'm an engineer, so I kind of shake my head at, like, wow, how precise it can get. So it won't combine you with some other. You won't morph into somebody else. Okay. Let's see. MP is saying it would be nice to go back to programs. I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, that was related to the comment above about when you drill down to the programs, it takes you back to the client. So it was.
Okay. All right. So it looks like there's a couple people that's been kicked off a Telegram. I'm just getting phone numbers here. So this is a thing that I know what you're talking about, and I actually will go and talk to the admins. I am one of the admins on the Telegram group, and I will go and talk to the admins and to find out if they, remove somebody for some reason. And, so far the answer has been no, in terms of them actually removing anybody. And so then I have to go back and put them in manually. And there's a way to do that.
Yeah.
So sorry about the inconvenience. So I'm just getting some phone numbers here.
So there's a question, Cal, you've heard of this one before, but it says I don't think it's an app related issue or glitch on two people, different days, different programs. They've seen scan percentages in the millions. What does this mean? I've never personally experienced anything like that, but it seems like that's just some sort of glitch. Because it
Yeah. It is. So we can look at this from a couple of perspectives. I would, from a conventional model, from an engineering model, from a scientific model, I would say it's a glitch. Now, from a spiritual model, from a potential model, I would say you maybe really need to work on something. But again, it's just, I would redo the scan, take a look at the average of what you get, and see if that's still true. But yes, I've seen this. I have seen it. It's actually happened to me. And I take that at face value. So I'm like, all right, I got some work to do. I mean, you look into yourself. No, look into yourself. What's the content that's coming up with those numbers? And look into yourself. If you feel like it's so far-fetched that it's just nothing to do with you, well, okay, rescan. But if you know that that's something in your life that you need to take a look at, I look at everything from a perspective of possibility, and let it give a message to me and feel into it. And I don't discount anything. Okay.
We're caught up again here.
So somebody said that they have put the wristbands on the client's ankles, especially if having lower body issues or running meridians and programs when the meridian ends at the toes. Yeah, I highly suggest, in fact, if we're looking at conditions within this human body, and the analysis is coming up with a condition that is more upper body related or even head related, then I say, let's try to address it from that area of the mass, right? The mass being the body, the material body. When Healy is operating on us or with us, it's the microcurrent is going into the body, and the frequencies are speaking to us at a much deeper level, at a genetic level, at a cellular level, and it's influencing code sequences for cells that are now in this moment being created. Now, think about this for a minute. 800,000 cells per second are being recreated in your body per second, 800,000. And so when you're running a Healy program, 800,000 cells per second are being influenced by that electron flow, that frequency being inputted into the body. And those new cells are now being adjusted and interfaced with. But the cells that are pre-existing still have a cell membrane voltage, in which if that voltage is low because of depletion, because of stress factors, because of consuming energy for other issues, then that system is unhealthy. And Healy is now charging that system back up with its microcurrent. Okay, it's now raising the cell membrane voltage, increasing ATP production, protein synthesis, amino acid transport, all the things that microcurrent does, all those things. So remember that this is a very intricate system, and I'm grateful for the way it works. Let's see.
I think the next one we have here says, how much info do we need when entering a client in the Blue Dot app for an analysis? Do we need an address always? So I think this is one of those, the more information you have, the better, in this case as well. Rather than just a name or something like that, the more information you can provide, I think it helps overall as far as the results go. But what would you say?
Yeah, so let me. I really want to address this in a more heartfelt way. So there's a lot of fear in our world right now. Excuse me.
Sure, sure, yeah.
Excuse me, the fear that is that we attach to, as a, like, I don't want to put my information in there. I don't want anybody to know who I am. You know, my last name now exposes me to something. My phone number exposes me to something. All these things expose me to something. This is a fear. And this is really a consciousness that's starting to, you know, make it an impact. Whew. Sorry about that.
No, take your time.
But this is a real condition, and this is what Healy is actually addressing in its entirety within the energy fields of our bodies. So if we're still tuned into fear, we don't want to put the coordinates in. They're simply coordinates, right, of us. And the blue dot asks for your first and last name. It asks for your birthday, your birthplace. It's asking for your picture. You don't have to put your phone number in there. You don't have to put your email address in there. You don't have to put your home address in there. You just, the content that it's looking for, when you were born, where you were born, your name and picture and gender. Those are things in which ancient analysis systems, if you've heard of the gene keys, if you've heard of human design, if you've heard of Aztec calendaring, these are ancient technologies that use this content to evaluate a human's genome or a human's overall influential factors. That none of us, all of us are unique in the genetic codes, but we're all humans. We all live within a very specific species. And so these systems are looking for content to be the most accurate for you. If you feel fear, the reason the body's in disorder, I'm going to promise you right now, the reason the body is in disorder is because the emotional burden that this body is trying to bear. And fear, unworthiness, lack, anger, these are some of the biggest burdens that our body is trying to bear. And it's down regulating the genetic code. It's increasing the stress factor, keeping us in that sympathetic nervous system, which is dysregulating our order. It's causing disease. And I'm just saying it's a huge emotional factor for me because I feel it. So when it comes to inputting your content, breathe, number one. Full deep breaths, allow the body to relax. Feel into yourself. Am I coming from my heart or am I coming from my head? The head thinks, but the heart knows. Feel it. Allow yourself to put the content in there and then find out, you'll see how more accurate the reading is. Don't have to put your phone number, your email address, or any of that. So just those 5 pieces I told you about. your picture, your name, how the world addresses you. So if my name is Kenneth Close on my birth certificate, but everybody calls me Ken. So I put Ken Close in there, right? Number two, when you were born. This is significant because it has to do with the way the entire solar system's alignment with you. Where you were born on this planet. Demographics, the geological space in which you were born has a big part to play. Why? Because you were created in an environment that prepared you for that environment. If you were born in a war zone, your body has been genetically programmed to survive in a war zone. All right. And Healy's database understands all that planetary information, all of that genetic coding. And the last, gender. You know what only really separates us a lot as humans? I mean, men are men, women are women, but there's a separation, male and female, right? There's a purpose to us. So anyway, don't be afraid, because I guarantee you it's steering your life. Just my heart.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you.
All right.
A couple other feedback here from Izzy on the Pink Dot app. You know, again, things that can be tweaked as we go, improvements that we made. She mentioned possible to increase the contrast and swipe program pages like before. But yeah, I mean, again, it's going to be a lot of updates coming for the new Healy app as well, because a lot of people will be using it, and all these little things that can improve the user experience. We're certainly going to want to use as well. So we'll get as many things incorporated as we can. Just keep in mind that it might not all be fixed or added at once. It'll be kind of rolled out over time, you know, over a series of updates. So just because you told it to me on the call today doesn't mean there'll be an update tomorrow. But yeah,
we want that, don't we? But
yeah.
it's like, you know,
Yeah.
really interesting how things take time. I mean, look at Apple. Apple started in a garage, and it's been, you know, decades in the making, and now we got these amazing devices, or, you know, stuff and Healy is still a baby. I'm just saying, relatively speaking, to some of these other things on the market, a baby.
Yeah. And there was someone just put a comment in here, says, silly question, but it's not a silly question. So what is the third upper right Healy app behind Ken? So that, you know, anyone that's seen this, been on this call many times, you know, that background's been the same for a long period of time. But yes, guys, when Ken started the call, he mentioned that he has the new Healy app. So this was the app that was launched first for MagHealy, and then it's now sort of in a beta testing phase where you're able to use your regular Healy device with this new app as well, and it's going to be optimized for the regular Healy too. So that is the new app, and it is available for anybody that wants to try it out in the App Store, on Google Play Store as well. So if you're curious and want to see how it looks, go ahead and check it out. And then again, on Thursday, I mentioned it earlier, but this Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be doing a deep dive into the new Healy app and how it differs from the current Healy Pink Dot app, how the different, the visual, you know, anything from how you know the progress percent, how do you know if you're getting good conductivity, because those things, a lot of those things have changed, how you update the app, how you manually check for updates, how the expert programs work, because that where they're kind of used to live in the Healy Pink Dot app is changed, and it's a separate section. So we're going to cover a bunch of stuff, and I think it'll be a great call. And if you're curious about the new app, certainly join us on that. Experience Healy.world, 3 p.m. on Thursday.
That's so awesome. Thank you. I look forward to that. I will be there.
Great.
So I appreciate that. And I'm super glad. Thank you all for the allowance and the space of my emotional interaction. It is a big thing in our world that we really need to address and think about how we're driven. How are we driven? By the head or by the heart? So keep that in mind. And one last little lightning round question. Ali was asking, by the way, for those with gender identity differences from the way they were born, how do we address that within the app, right? So male or female. So this is a great question because we understand Healy looks at the information field. The information field. Everyone has this pure information field data, and the divine intelligence understands that there is there's bodily components. And so even, I'm going to say it this way, the spirit within us may evolve and shift and change as we in our own consciousness believe certain things. But the body has systems, organs, and cells that still have a frequency to them, and Healy works on the frequency of the body. So understand that that's a big factor, and have that conversation with your client. Say, look, we just want to make sure we're addressing the proper systems, organs, and cells within your body. Have they changed? Have they changed? And how do we address that? Try it both ways. I don't discount anything. People have the right to their opinion. They have a right to their beliefs, their feelings. People have a right. Just know that sometimes those belief structures, are they guiding them in the right direction? Right. And can we do a proper analysis with Healy based on the direction that they're flowing? Genetics are genetics, and we have to look at that. So thank you all for being here. I love you. My heart is open to you. We're here to serve in every aspect of the word. And I look forward to seeing you again on Thursday and next week. So big love to you guys. Bye for now.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks, everyone.